Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. Welcome back to Railroader. We are back on the Andrews and Eastern. We are getting our trains running. Right now, we're following the pulpwood train as it runs up the hill. We've got some switching going on in Andrews. We've got some switching going on in Hewitt. We've got a lot going on. Let's step away from the pulpwood train for a second and go check on our passenger train. This is about to become our highest priority because it'll be ready to turn around soon. I am expecting this to again be something of a shorter stream tonight. Well, not a shorter stream, but a less busy stream. Because I do know that Angry Ragtimer is streaming Railroader, and he's got some RDCs to show off. I can't compete with RDCs, but I gotta do this at some point, so we're doing it now. Oh, no, let's actually come back to here. So you release the handbrake, tie in the air. Get you to tie in the air, please. And yeah, we're gonna tell you to head back into the shop. That thing needs some repairs. And now we come to Hewitt, where our train is ready for some switching. So we need to drop off these two cars. Okay. We're going to do this manually for a moment. We do have one outbound car there, and I think, yeah, one up there. We do, of course, still have our goals up in the top left. We are gradually working our way towards this. And switch, throw. I don't expect to make too much progress towards those this episode. This is kind of our pay off the debt, or pay down the debt, pay down the interest. But I'm thinking the next in-game day we'll be able to get the D85, and then we'll be able to start pulling off the wreck that's up here. And that'll get us into the west end of Bryson. Dunk. That one's going to be pretty full soon. We'll have to run another train down here. So we'll grab these two, shove them in here, kick this car back into the boxcar, put this boxcar back because it's still pretty full. Okay, passenger train is at Hemingway. So once we tie into these, I'm going to waypoint it for a second, and then we'll deal with it. Good, talk to the passenger train. Oh, and we got to get the pulpit train continuing on as well. All right. So, passenger train, where are you? There you are. Select. Manual. Apply the handbrake. Actually, no, not manual. Waypoint. Back to here. And those lamps are already cycled off. They probably were never cycled on properly. Make sure we get everyone. They want to go the wrong way. And while you're doing that, let's get you. All right, there you are. Okay, yeah, 3 cars last time was the right move. Now we want you to go back and get... Close that. Now go back to Graham County and get 4 more. And now go back to Hewitt and keep working on 12. We're going to tell you to shove that all the way in, because we need all the cars in here. Okay, and that's probably good. You go back there. Apply that handbrake. Go ahead and take some speed with you. And go talk to our passenger train again. Because this thing, we're gonna do another like 2 hours of wait once this thing's hooked up. We'll probably move it back a bit. I've been told it generates passengers faster if there's not a train right there. I don't know if that's true, but we'll try it. Just for kicks, which way did Skookum go? It went head first. Well, that'll work for now. The point is, it's getting fixed, and that is what we want. No, keep going. Shouldn't have done that. You're almost to your stopping point too. And now you need to put this back. Hopefully I'm not making anyone dizzy at the moment. So let's roll this train out of the way real quick. Oh, wait, hang on. These are the markers that need to be on. I don't know what I was thinking before. There we go. Now we wait 1 hour. Let's go pick those up. That way we can also get our boxcar back where it needs to go. Yep, and that way the boxcar can unload a little more as well. Should be picking up another 17 or so. And then roll it back again. I don't know if this actually works. We wait 1 more hour. And we get more people. And that's good. And you are just reaching where you need to be. So we're going to drop these log cars here. And when we eventually get to Whittier, we will be using them. Now I need you get yourself into here. And then I need to go back to the passenger train. Tell it to get a roll on. As you can see, it is very busy right now. You've got everyone, so you can get going. Let's go find the pulpit train. Get your air. 1, 2, 3, 4. Head back to top and grab your other cars. And now we go back to 12. Save. And we're going to manual you again. So you're back where you need to be. Okay, good. You're still not ready. Let's not plow into the scar too fast. And now into the sighting. Disconnect. Too fast. Too fast. And forward. So plop this over here, then we'll shove that one in. And then we can shove these in. But yeah, I think we're going to need to make an afternoon run. Okay, 601 is in the hall. It's good. We'll deal with you in a second. Let's get this thing kicked. And another delivery. Break. Eat. So now we pick up. Let's go grab our car. And then we'll have you go get water. While we're waiting on that, I was at a train show this past weekend in Elma, Washington. That is about an hour east of me, a little bit east of Olympia. And I picked up a new locomotive. That locomotive is a 0-30 model of the Southern Pacific's Little Giant, although my version is just an undecorated black. It's a General Electric 50-ton. If you know anything about me, or if you've seen a couple other videos on my channel, you might have figured out that I am a volunteer with the Sumter Valley Railway. This thing is going to be painted into the scheme of our diesel switcher, the 720. That said, I've also decided I don't think I'm actually going to make it the 720, because I have spotted a few differences, and I know the rivet counters are going to have a field day if I actually try and make it 720 without extensively changing the model, and I just don't feel like dealing with that. Instead, it's going to be a, let's call it a 720 inspired 50-tonner. The premise being, what if the original railroad had purchased some of these? Let's see if you'll fit in here. So that project is ongoing. I've successfully lowered the couplers to the correct 0-30 height as opposed to the as-built 0-3 height. And I've confirmed that it does in fact have functioning DCC. Functioning DCC is kind of important. I wasn't sure when I got it, but it does have it. Alright, so let's have you run further up. Painting will start. Well, A wants to figure out how to use my airbrush. I bought one and then I've never used it. What I want to do. Need to figure out how to get that. I also need to wait for the weather to warm up. Kind of in an awkward spot. What happens if I release the handbrake? Is this flat? No, it's on a grade. I don't know which way that grade goes, but it's on a grade. Let's have you waypoint to here. I'm just gonna Shift R, Control R, Shift R. Oh no, it's Shift F. Sorry. Thought it was F. What's the button to push the thing again? Hang on. I can't check from here. I think. Equipment. Re-rail push. It is Shift R. Okay. But it's not letting me. Is it supposed to push the other way? Huh. Okay, well, how about this? I will waypoint you to here instead. We'll stop you short. Then I'll have the engine grab that car, and we'll shove everything up to the mine. Because then it'll be on the right end. And conveniently, the engine will be facing the proper direction. Well, actually, no, it's going to be facing the wrong direction again, but that's fine. It's fine. 12 has arrived at waypoint. Waypoint is roughly where you need it to be. So let's get you all the way where you need to be now. And once you're full, and moving on, we'll drop a flare so that the passenger train doesn't run right past. Anyway, if you want to see the 50-ton in action, go to my shorts. I've got one there. It actually has a decent amount of pulling power for only having one powered truck. M and W, CP, WAG, SETA, Euro, and DNS. Marines are doing alright. That one's a little low. So now waypoint U. We'll have you go this way. And now back to 12. We're going to be bouncing back and forth between these two engines. U. Waypoint into no, not there. There we go. That's where we want you. So we're going to run you up the branch. And while we're at it, let's go up the branch ourselves and see what's there. Yep, one car ready to go. Just one car ready to go. Okay. I think 601 is going to be ready first. I need to make sure he comes out here and then comes back to the train. With Y's, it can be a little tricky. Hello, Celestial Caboose. Thank you for popping in. Sorry if I missed you. Hopefully Angry Stream is going well if it's still going. I need to figure out how to show the live chat in the OBS. I know there's a way to do it, because I did it once. Right now I just have my stream pulled up on YouTube and I'm watching it that way. Anyway, this is not a revenue car, by the way. This was for the... Oh, Angry Stream just stopped. It definitely looked like a good one for the part that I was watching. Dunk. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you to go up there. And that way I know you'll come back to the right spot. And 12's at its waypoint. So, and we'll just let 12 wait a sec so I don't bounce back and forth too much. And of course, we have all the cars waiting to go to Bryson and Ela and Whittier after we unclog the messes at Bryson and Ela and Whittier. And ahead of Bryson. Anyway, as I was saying, got that 50-ton. It'll be painted orange once the weather turns good. It will be running in its current undecorated black phase at the train show in Monroe in about a week and a half. So if you want to see what that looks like, come to that show. Just joining this large one, someone else is running. Yeah, that is always a possibility. I will say I'm starting to reach the point where a second person can be handy. I haven't decided if I'm actually gonna get another person to help me. I have run this map from Whittier to Andrews before with the Alarka branch all by myself. It is not easy, but it is possible. And besides, if I invite someone else, then I have to figure out all the mods I've got, create a mod pack, and that just feels like a lot of work. Now, I know I normally do these streams on Tuesday, and yesterday was Tuesday. But yesterday I was helping Angry and Midland with Grocery Store Simulator, and they looked like they needed the help, so... Exactly. Games are for having fun. Alright. So, let's shove this on up. Looks like we'll have plenty of cars waiting for us once we're done. And while it's doing that, because that's going to take a while. Wait. Almond got passengers. Yay! So let's have grab you. And that... I shift-clicked that. Alright. Let's have you run yourself up to there. So passenger train, of course, is at Almond. Looks like our pulpit train is almost back. I'm not sure it's going to fit in that tail track. Hopefully it gives me a message if it doesn't. But we got 15 cars of pulpit coming in. And, oh, I should set the next interchange. $12.10. So we got to make sure all our stuff is back there by then. I don't know if we'll get to all of that this episode. I think we'll at least get to doubling our train over the hill. And we will have to double head that thing because we're going to have, well, that boxcar plus these two Gons, plus it looked like 6 hoppers and the empty boxcar coming out of Alarka Junction. That's a lot to haul. Well, we've got two 46,000 pounds of tractive effort engines, which is 92,000 pounds total. And hopefully that will be enough. But there's a reason I want that D85, if only we could afford it. Hopefully tomorrow in-game that'll be the case. Just checking. Okay, yep. All our other stuff is good. Those extra log cars are also almost good. Those ones will be getting sold once they're done. We recovered them from a wreck. We don't need them. They barely have any logs on them. We're going to sell them. Hopefully our other repair parts boxcar shows up pretty on this interchange too. Honestly, it might not hurt to buy it. You know what? Let's actually do that. I know I was just talking about how much I want to... Oh no. I think there was a couple of repair parts boxcars in the next direct train, so maybe we'll just take one of those. We'll deal with that also in-game tomorrow. Which out-of-game will be maybe next week, maybe the week after. This is definitely a one-stream week. And I think next week will be as well. Next week, I got to get ready for the Monroe train show. Overhaul complete. That's good. Should be seeing that message a couple more times pretty soon. Yep, there they are. Coming in kind of hot there. Bonk. I think we got a little bit of a scratch and dent on that. Yeah, turns out it is possible for the AI to derail. In fact, off camera, I had that happen last week before. Had a K35 coming down the mountain with a single loaded gondola, and it wrecked in this corner. My guess is it was trying to just use air brakes instead of engine brakes, and there was not enough air brake with one car and one engine. Which is something that is good to note. Passenger train is coming up on Whistler. It is interesting, but I don't think it's unprecedented. I feel like I've heard of that sort of thing happening before. Okay, set handbrakes. You bonk into these cars. Take them from the top because that way you'll be pulling going the other way. And up. Now go back to 12. Where is 12? There's 12. Shift, click. Waypoint, back in here. We'll actually put them at the loading dock. And this is flat, right? Yeah, the bridge is flat. And 10 is... Let's go watch 10 real quick. Is it gonna fit? It is just barely going to fit. I could fit another car. We could do 16 at once. We can't do more than 16, but we could do 16. So, bleeding all my air off. So now you come down here. Then we'll tell you to get going again. So, and boxcar dropped off. We're making money this stream. That's good. Money be good. A couple other things I picked up at this past train show. I got a little unscale gondola. It's going to get turned into a log car. I've done that with almost 20 of those things now. And half of them seem to be those cheapy Bachmann gondolas that are silver and marked Southern. If I can get them for $5-10, they're really good kit bash fodder. And then a couple books. One about the interurban line that once ran between Seattle and Everett to the north, which also covers the one that ran between Bellingham and Mount Vernon. And then another book on the, what is it, like the Uvalde Pacific? Something like that? Narrow gauge line out in Arizona. It was the United Verde and Pacific. That's what it was. I have not opened up that book yet. But I got both of them for $10 a piece. I will be giving the interurban book to a friend next time I see her. I don't know when that is yet. I did make sure to at least read the book first. Okay, you're still coming down. Let's go check on 10. 10 got all its cars dropped off. Yay. Yeah, ooh, interurbans. Interurban's good. It's sad that we don't have more, but the automobile was a very strong factor at the time. And 3 of those hoppers are done. So we'll pick up some cars out of here. And we'll probably wait to run around this till we get back into the yard. Or back down by the depot. How about here? Anything? We got one here! Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Well, interurbans were all over the place. I'm half tempted to try and model a narrow gauge interurban as a freelance. Although my actual choice of freelance is where I grew up, which is very far from where you'd find any sort of interurbans. Or electric trains in general. Possibly even electricity in general. But it could be fun. Yeah, this book, again, is on Seattle to Everett. I also have one on Seattle to Tacoma. That interurban was built first, but didn't last as long. And of course, I'd really like to see a book, or get a book on the Oregon Electric Railway. In fact, I thought I had one at one point, or maybe I just read Dad's. That was a very long interurban that ran from Portland south to Eugene, and had some branches off to the west. It operated electrics, I think, until 1945. We're just going to manual you for a sec. Niagara, Welland, and Lake Erie Railway. Lasted 18 years. That doesn't feel long, but I don't think the Bellingham Mount Vernon one lasted that long either. I think that one was maybe like I'd have to read it again. That one might have been about 20 years, maybe 30. It didn't help that it had a very long wooden trestle over a bay, and they didn't treat it, which means that the shipworms loved it as food. And if you're trying to run trains over a bridge, having it get eaten by worms is not really what you want. Oh, I guess I should probably get the freight train rolling. I should probably also... drop that. And go back to you. Okay. 12 we're going to need to do something with, but... at least top off the coal for it, but we'll get this thing running first. Make sure not to smash into this boxcar. Too small. Too short. Good catch. Okay, I'm gonna waypoint you for a second while I figure out the... yep, 12 figured out. Apply that handbrake. Let's get you cooled up. I mean, you're probably fine, but let's get a little bit in there just in case. Passenger train is... oh, passenger train is already at Hewitt. One of the stations still exists. That's always good. And yeah, I have noticed stations tend to end up becoming businesses. I think a couple of the Oregon Electric ones became pizza parlors. I don't think there is any from the two interurban surviving. At least the two I'm thinking of. The ones up here in Puget Sound. There's a few other depots existing, but not interurban ones. And yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Let's get this back on the train. So this will be the other engine on the doubleheader when it shows up. Alright. You just hurry up and wait. And you... let's get these hoppers. This thing goes through a lot of coal. I guess we'll have you grab these cars and get them ready to sell as well. That's another 1,500 bucks. Nothing to sneeze at. and dunk. So we'll leave that car. Release that handbrake. And then there's one more we need to come get, and that car is up here. This is at the grain silo, by the way. This was added in one of the recent updates. I had previously been storing those cars for Bryson and Ela and Whittier. Those had been here, and then they added the industry, so that's why they're now up at Alarka Junction. There's not really a lot of other good places to put them. Except, you know, like this little spur, but that's where I put the log cars. I guess I could have also stuck some of them up at Almond. That one's full of grain. Niagara, St. Catherine, and Toronto Railway. 1899 to 1959. That is pretty significant. That's a 60-year run. I don't think a lot of interurbans can claim that length. I'd have to look up when Oregon Electric was again. I want to say like either very late 1890s or early 1900s. Again, it stopped running electrics in 1945, but it continued as a diesel subsidiary of the Spokane, Portland, and Seattle Railway until it was merged in the BN. And now its tracks are part of the Portland and Western, which is part of the Borg known as Genesee and Wyoming. Alright, so now you have you come into here and get those. Let's have you go there. Guys, oh, that's right. You're facing backwards. So what if I move the flare a little closer? Maybe it'll actually spot at the water tower. I can never seem to get these flares placed so that they stop with the tank at the spout. It's very difficult. Those look like we have a pretty good number of passengers this time. This would not be a bad time to have some RDCs, honestly. Maybe once Rex gets them out, I will get some. A little bit of manipulation. How much coal do you have? You got enough coal to get up the hill. I'm not worried about you. We'll just make sure. I mean, to be fair, Celestial, there's not a lot of places that had multiple interurbans, if I were to guess. Alright, pull the fusee. You can continue on your way. How many people are we picking up at Nantahala? 37. So we got... I guess we only count 12 going the same direction. Now we're going to manual you. Andrews is always kind of fun, because at some point the yard starts sloping downhill. So now, uncouple you. They're going to roll a little bit. My goal is to kick these cars down towards the yard and then get this thing out of the way before these things roll the same way. And then keep these things, hopefully, from rolling too far. Too fast. I'd make a joke about Smells Like Kenosha playing, but I don't play music on my streams. I really ought to. I should think about that. Wait. What happened? Oh! Oops. That wasn't supposed to happen. That was very much not supposed to happen. Well! Guess these things are going into the shop for a bit, huh? Dang turnouts. I swear, half the time I throw them, they don't throw. And you just ran clean through the yard. Let's hit the brakes on before you completely smash through the end of track. We'll get another engine to dig you out in a sec. See, I just clicked it and it didn't throw. Well, we got a bunch of repair parts and triple thing and a reputation bonus, so hopefully this won't take too long. I don't think it'll make the next interchange, but it might make the one afterwards. Meanwhile, passenger train is on its way up the hill. How many passengers did we drop off? We dropped off 19 at Nantahala. And our freight train just went through Almond. Rip indeed. Okay. We'll just have Skookum go get those other cars to where they were supposed to be. If you haven't used the Skookum mod, it's not very strong. It's only an L27. Yep, that's it is. Either that or they just weren't lubricated properly. You never know. But anyway, since you mentioned you want to get into this game, and for anyone else who wants to use this mod, it's available on Nexus Mods. It's very adorable. But... well, I can't demonstrate now. One sec. Let me stop it. It does have something most of the regular engines don't. And that something is wheel slip. If you get it under about 75% throttle, it'll run just fine. And once you reach a certain speed, then you can get it all the way up to full power. But it does make it hard to AI, because the AI will, you know, just take it straight to 100 on the throttle. And then it slips. And if you didn't want it to slip, like if you're on a hill, it's going to slip and you're going to lose all your speed. And if that hill happens to be, I don't know, red marble, it's kind of an issue. Nonetheless, we do love our Skookumchuck. The tender didn't come with you? That's an interesting problem to have. Oh, we should probably... it's fine on coal and water. Oh, and then we better put our repair car back. So since this whole thing is kind of using sandbox and arbitrary rules in the first place, whenever we recover a wrecked train, and we've done that 3 times now? 3 times now. You are A, limited to 15 miles an hour until you can get into the shop. And B, you have to bring your wrecking crew out to stabilize things and get it ready to move even at that speed. And that's what this car is for. It doesn't actually have any purpose. It's just, you know, the stock baggage car in game. But it's just an extra thing to keep things interesting. Alright. Let's get you into the interchange tracks. We'll put this back at the tail of the Y once we're done. In fact, the first time I had to go rescue a train, I used our tiny little 440 that we started with. I've used this not very much, just for that one time getting the baggage car out when we first bought it, because it was the only thing available at the time. All our other engines were off doing freight stuff, freight or passenger stuff. But I used it for that, and then I used it for passenger service until we repaired our other 440, which is the one currently on the passenger train. Oh, there it goes. $253 for 4 cars delivered. And we'll eventually get a couple more. That's not going to help our safety rating, though, just saying. Yeah. Yeah. Less than ideal, as they would say. How's our other trains doing? Okay, you're coming up on Wesser. Passenger train is coming up on Graham County. So we're not going to have anything to do for a bit. All that haste and hurry and holler before, and we're about to finally hit a lull. I guess we could go run the freight train manually. That's always fun. Yeah, we at the Andrews and Eastern pride ourselves on not being the ES&D, but sometimes it comes through anyway. It's a little frustrating. Does this track have grade on it? There's some sort of grade on it. Yeah, it's down and then up at the very end. Okay. And Engelcock. A little bit of boiler swing is always fun to see, too. We'll get you re-coaled and re-watered. And then maybe we'll get the one car back out to interchange. Maybe I should do a compilation at some point. All the times I wrecked playing this game in Railroader. Of course, then I'd have to download all my streams and sift through them. Still, could be fun. I'll think about it. Once I actually, finish the map. Once again, up in the upper left, you can see all my targets for this map. Having trouble. So, of course, I gotta connect Andrews to Whittier, currently at Hemingway. Serve all the open industries at minimum tier 3. Repair any salvage equipment and pay down all my debt. I don't have a huge amount of debt, but I do have quite a bit of debt. And that helps. And we'll get that later. We'll just get you in there for now. And since we've now pretty much finished, let's just watch this. Let's just run this for a bit. I don't think we want to go much above 35. But we do have some pretty significant tonnage, which is why we're going to have the helper. And funnily enough, the engines are going to be facing different directions. So hang on, that was 82. We need to get to about 86 and a half. So this is going to take about another 10 minutes. Oh, right. For those of you who have not used waypoint mode, it will reset switches. If it has to set a switch, it'll reset it back to the last setting. So previously, I had the pulpwood train sticking out of here, so the switch was set that way. When it left the switch going that way. That has caused issues before, including one time where I may or may not have plowed into the cars on the grain track here. And also may or may not have used an autosave to fix that. And that is why you always check your switches. Okay, we're now about a mile out of Hewitt. There is 30 or 83. I can't remember. Can I tier up any of the other industries now? Yeah, we can get Robson Gap Coal to tier 2, so we'll do that for tomorrow. Same for National Park, although I don't really expect that to change much. And I think the rest are all where they're at. I guess we can nope, now we can upgrade you two. It's waiting to say that we can. No change there. No change there. No change there. I'm gonna make sure those switches are good. Yep, they're good. And coming on through. Nothing ready to go yet. Although that last one is getting pretty darn close. So after the next interchange, it probably will be. Let's power off there, or throttle off there. We're just gonna coast for a bit, especially since we are getting closer to that water tower. Not this mile marker, but the next one we're gonna need to start braking. This one's the C46 Connie. I think there's a C55 Connie wrecked somewhere further up the line. Definitely gonna need all those repair parts boxcars. In fact, considering the preliminary reports I've heard of the sheer amount of repair parts we're going to need, so there's a ton of equipment that's smashed up in Bryson. I think I will end up buying another boxcar. Maybe I'll wait till after we get the D85, though. Yeah, let's do that. Want more power. There's the tower. passenger train is at Roto. And I did not give myself near enough time. We might not need water, but let's get some. Please hold. Please hold. I got a phone call. Okay, sorry about that, folks. That was an important family-related phone call. So, kinda needed to take that. We're now watered up. See, now I'm glad I made those cards. So we'll get this over to the coaling dock. So first we're going to drop this and apply a handbrake. The reason for which will hopefully soon become evident. We need more handbrake. Oh, we need more speed, more speed, more speed. Ah! And while you're calling up, you're gonna go get the rest of the train. Nope. All right. Now we gotta release all this. And then we'll get it all set up, and we'll get rolling up the hill. I hope. Easy in, easy in. Gently, gently. I'm not sure how well the MU works if they're facing different directions. I assume it does. But we'll find out. Seems to work. They're not fighting each other. And there's a ping in the ice cord. Oh, they figured out some of the, oh good, they figured out some of the international shipping. That's not an issue for me, because I'm in-country. But I know for others that's important. Alright, let's hope this makes it up the hill. I will say that if I was trying to do this realistically, that empty wooden boxcar would probably be at the back of the train. Anyway, I think once... Well, once we make sure that this can get up the hill, and then once the passenger train is in Andrews, we will probably call it a stream. Unless we want to call it a creek. That's always an option too. Not sure at the moment. It's going pretty slow. We do not have anything that can come to the rescue. So worst case, we double the hill. But, knock on wood, I think we're going to make it. I dare to believe we're going to make it. Not very fast, but we will. Yep, that'll be fine. Just for kicks, let's come back here. Anything else ready to go all of a sudden? Nope, 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 nope. Still unloading pulpwood too. Yeah, quite a few passengers though. I think what I am going to do, we're going to pull Skookum out. We're going to stick it out of the way so we can stick the passenger cars in the shop. Because remember that the condition of your cars does affect your passenger rating. So we'll just stick Skookum up here for a sec. Yep. Okay, freight train is still moving up. Passenger train is at Andrews and unloading. Actually, we're going to keep the fusee there. No. What are we going to do? We'll put a new fusee down here. That way when the freight train shows up, it knows what to do. Alright. You are offloaded. We're going to run this thing around, get it in the shop. And then while we're doing that, I think we're going to call this a stream. Thank you all for watching. I will probably pick this up again maybe Sunday, more likely Tuesday. You know, unless I get dragged into more grocery store simulator. And then we'll see the second half of this day, or at least the first part of the second half of this day, if it's interesting. And until then, I'm just going to get this finished up till the next interchange. So hope you all have a good night. Hope you all enjoyed. See you next time. Take care.